in the spiritual life, that you would especially try to guide women into, the women who, because men don't stay with you. That's not going to work. No. But, the women who come to stay in your monastery, you want to guide them to what?
We want to guide them really to holiness, to living a balanced life, but a holy life, and to do it amidst their ordinary duties and ordinary responsibilities. And that's what St. Francis de Sales was really talking about in the introduction to the devout life, and which we also do.
Which is one of his most famous books.
Right, which is very available even today,
right,
very available.
St. Francis, the Devout Life is part of your spirituality.
That is part of our spirituality. And when we're in formation, if we haven't discovered it earlier, we read that book and studied that book as well. So it's not just for the laity, it's for all of us. But we would be guiding them to what we call the little virtues. St. Francis de Sales said that the order was to be hidden in the heart of Christ. We were to be small. The words they would use would be something like lowly. But the point being that we were to be living those virtues in a simple way, in an ordinary way. So, for example, if someone comes and let's say that they express some kind of situation in their family, well, we'd encourage them to have patience, for example. That's one of the virtues you'd try to develop in your life and with a person who might be coming in. Or they might be thinking that when they come to a monastery, they have to take up every spiritual exercise that they can possibly think of because they want to become holy quick or something. I mean, people have ideas, So you might.
I can imagine New Yorkers trying to everything.
Let's get quick. Let's get holy quickly, right? Quickly. So you encourage them to slow down, take each moment as it comes, to live in the present moment. That's a very strong point from the Salesian point of view, the St. Francis de Sales spirituality. To live in the present moment, to take everything that's coming to you as coming from the hand of God, and also to give them that liberty of spirit. If they are, to help them, encourage to grow within them that liberty of spirit, so that if they feel that constraint, we're not encouraging that kind of constraint, but that freedom, inner freedom, and exterior freedom too. That if this doesn't work for you, that's okay. Let's move in this direction.
See, I think one of the problems that many people have with even beginning the spiritual life is that they are so often caught up in a variety of compulsions, sometimes sinful, sometimes just bad habits, and they're so determined by those compulsions that they don't know how to find that interior freedom that comes in Jesus.
And part of that freedom comes from accepting yourself as who you are, accepting your frailties. Again, these are words that we would probably not use today and may even need to be explained, but St. Francis said would say something like, love your own abjection, which means love your weakness in a way, embrace it actually, which may be very difficult for any of us to really do. But the point is, if you fall down, you pick yourself up and you move forward. You accept yourself as you are with the goal of continuing, trying to grow and spiritually or in one of the characteristics that we've talked about. Yeah. So you walk step by step with whoever it is that you're guiding. Just find out where they're at.
And one of the things that would be key is that as a person experiences that abjection, or I think more modern word,
weakness, say, frailty.
That weakness and frailty. They encounter Jesus in that weakness. It's not just my weakness in me. It's
He's there.
Meeting Jesus.
Right there, who will pick you up, who will give you the strength, who will give you what you need to move. And that's where you cling to Him. You cling to Him, you cling to His heart. He's right there. He's right there. And he you in your prayer, this is how you put it before the Lord. Lord, take me, help me, hold me. However a person prays. But that's exactly right, what you're saying.
And, this is one of the very important things, because when theology becomes too abstract, one of the common effects is that God becomes very remote. God becomes an idea, and is
not
very
present.
distant. What you're talking about is taking time for the silence to allow ourselves to come close to Jesus when we're at our lowest and find the intimacy with him in our weakest.
Because that's when he's there for you, especially. I mean,
Yes.
he died for sinners,
Yep.
as we know. When a person is feeling that way, let's say, that you're expressing, if they would go before the Lord in our community, for example, or any retreat, monastery, would go before the Lord in the Blessed Sacrament. That would be one way of approaching him. The silence allows you to begin to experience him in some way, even if it's simply the sense of that felt sense of silence. Before, when you spend time that way, the presence, his presence, becomes stronger. It's not an empty silence. It's it's full. It's
Yes,
full.
yes.
The room could begin to feel full. And that
As a matter of
presence
fact,
the
one
Lord.
of the things that is more typical experience is that the noise of the world is what's hollow. The silence
Is what's-
of Jesus is full.
It's full. It's
And that's
full.
a